What the fuck happened to my fucking stream? What do you mean offline? What? How long? 5 minutes? How long? What the fuck just happened? Stream ceased? For how long? Bro, how long did it cease for? I looked down at my phone to see it's offline. What the heck happened? Was too sad for Twitch, I know. Was so sad for Twitch. How long was I out for Mouse, do you know? Rough estimate? I hope it wasn't too long. I think you can probably tell the difference. Let's see. Should be processing the VOD right now. About a minute? Maybe 2 minutes or so? A lot happens in 2 minutes, for fuck's sake. Why does it do this to me? Why? It was just getting good! It was getting sad. I hope we didn't miss out too much. And the VODs are too long for me to download and switch to... Thanks for the head pat, Mouse. Oh no! I just realized something. I'm not gonna tell what I realized, but I realized something. Oh no! I'm gonna die. Let's just go back a bit, just in case. Just for posterity's sake, let's go back to when we get home. Just for posterity's sake. By the time I get back to the library, I'm exhausted from the walk in the sun. I have to open the library doors and go inside. Walking past my empty seat at the front desk, Juliet's nowhere to be seen. Only patrons, and they've always seemed to manage just fine without me, though. Plodding up to my room, I grab my blanket from my bed and wrap it around myself before I lower myself to the floor. That's when the tears hit me again. And this time I can't hold them back. Touching onto my side, I don't even try. There's no point. As expected, in less than a minute, there is a sound at my door. 3 knocks. Always 3.
Miho? Is that you? Are you alright?
I don't respond. I don't even know if I want to see Juliet right now. She's part of this too, after all. She pauses us outside for a moment, but a few seconds later, Juliet opens the door anyway.
Ah, Miho.
The pity in her voice tells me everything I need to know. I can only imagine what it must look like. Covered in a blanket and lying on the floor. It must look pathetic. Childish. Must be how I always look to her.
Miho. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
It trails off, still just inside the door. I can see your legs and cane. Hello, few moments. But not her face. I can picture the concern in it, though.
Didn't mean to what?
The words come out as a growl, surprising even myself. I can't pretend. Not now. Let herself in here. She can deal with it. Her cane sways from side to side as she wrings her hands, almost knocking into the wall more than once.
mean for you to put things together this way. Such a painful way. I wanted to...
So you did know.
Cut her off without thinking. As she confirms my suspicions, with one arm, I pull myself up, letting the blanket fall away from my face, as I glare daggers at Juliet.
Pardon?
You knew.
Slowly, I rise to my feet. My head is pounding. I can hear my blood pumping as anger rises through me, bubbling out like liquid magma.
All this time they've been dead, and you knew, didn't you? You probably knew from the first time I told you about them, right?
She sniffles. She stiffens, and then Juliet sighs deeply. It's the only one ever seems to do around here.
I did. Yes.
Why? Why didn't you tell me?
Although tears are beginning to choke my voice again, I manage to shout out my question, my accusation.
I've been looking like such an idiot. I'm already an idiot compared to you and to Aspen. Every day I'm reminded of that. But this really takes the cake, doesn't it? I've been wasting my whole entire life over something everyone else can figure out right away.
The pain. The pain.
Miho, it isn't like that.
Then why? Tell me why you didn't tell me sooner. Or Aspen. She knows too, right?
Juliet nods meekly. Her eyes burn, and I
didn't-
hit this button too early.
We didn't know how.
My eyes burn and my nose is running. My face hurts in every possible way.
No, how?
I keep hitting the auto button, fearing that it doesn't freaking do the thing.
No, how? What do you mean, no, how?
I can't keep myself from shouting. It was so stupid, so angry, so sad.
Please, Miho, try to understand. We were still just getting to know you. You barely trusted Aspen or me. If we just told you that the person you were looking for was deceased, we didn't know how you'd take it. You might not even believe us, for one thing. Or perhaps it would give you cause to run away again. As the weeks went on, we wanted to, but it never seemed to be the right time. Neither of us wanted to be the one to, out of nowhere, bring your whole world crashing down. Not when you were trying so hard. You seemed so happy. It felt more cruel to ruin that in a way. I'm sorry, Miho. I truly am. It was wrong of me to let it go this long without saying anything, but believe me, I only hesitated out of love. Aspen and I both. We simply couldn't bring ourselves to break your heart that way.
That? A lot of good that did. Juliet sniffles and I have to look away. Don't want to see her cry again. Not while I'm already like this. Tipping down to the floor, I pick up my blanket and wrap it around myself again. Even as I do, I can't help but think of how it's not really my blanket. It's Juliet's. She just let me use it. Like everything else.
Go away.
To my relief, doesn't argue. Doesn't even say anything else. Just nods and silently leaves the room. The second the door shuts behind her, I collapse onto my bed, put my pillow over my face, to come to my grief. My everything hurts when I wake up. Damp pillow still covering me. My face and head hurt from crying. My body hurts from passing out in an uncomfortable position. Didn't even mean to fall asleep. I must have cried myself into it. The memories of yesterday don't even give me a chance to wake up, or they flood my brain, pulling a groan out of me in response. I don't want to get up. I don't want to leave my bed. It's even the point. Still, now I have to. The Aspen within the next few hours. Juliet too. Eventually. I don't know what to say or even what I want to hear. As much as I'd like to just avoid everything and everyone, the rational part of me knows that I can't. So my magic and bead force me to confirm, like always. Either get up, be forgotten. I don't much of a choice. Sluggishly get dressed, wipe down my face, which is still red from crying. Then I trot downstairs to where I'd normally be having breakfast. Except it's later than usual. There's food on the table for me, but it's long since cold. And I can hear the sounds of a conversation and movement. That means the library is already open. Life goes on, with or without me. I cram down the slices of cold toast and browning apple without really tasting them, just knowing that I need the nourishment. And I wander up to the front of the library where Juliet is seated in my spot at the desk. When she notices me approaching, I can see her struggle to decide how to greet me. Uncertainty plain in her eyes. I can't decide either, so I just settle for a stiff nod.
Hey,
Good morning, Miho.
Her voice is awkwardly stifled. It seems out of place for Juliet. I gesture at the stack of books next to her and the half-filled checkout sheet.
you can go to bed. I can take over from here.
Juliet shakes her head, looking a little more confident in the motion.
No, it's all right. You're in no state to be working today. Let me handle it instead.
Really, it's fine.
The patron starts to approach the counter, a couple books in his hand. I start to reach for them, but Juliet stands up and blocks me off.
Good morning. All set to check out?
I let my hand fall to my side. The person checking out books looks a little confused, but settles on talking to Juliet instead of me. Fine then. If she wants to, she can do it. She has that same practiced tone of voice when it comes to helping a stranger that Aspen does. Aspen calls it her customer service voice. To me, it's the same as how I'd sound when trying to deceive someone or get something out of them. The only difference is I'm not sure I could pull myself off now. I could pull myself off now, like she can. Then again, it seems like Juliet must have always been good at hiding her feelings. Wordlessly, I turn around and step out from behind the desk, passing by the guest on my way out of the door. From the corner of my eye, I can see Juliet watching me as I go, even as she deftly handles the checkout. The fresh air is an instant relief, and I gulp it in as I stretch out my arms, just basking in the sun for a moment. I start walking to the bell house because I need to see Aspen before it gets too late. Fortunately, we had a late breakfast yesterday, so I have a bit more leeway than usual. I do my best to keep my head empty on the way there, but because if I let myself think, it'll turn bad. Instead, I just focus on putting one foot in front of the other, and on paying the minimum attention to my surroundings just enough to get me there. Aspen herself is working the counter when I enter the cafe, and she waves eagerly when she sees me.
Oh, Miho! I was just thinking of taking my break early to come see you. Juliet said you were feeling a little under the weather this morning.
Could call it that, I guess. Sure. I make my way up to the register, staring blankly at the menu. I could actually read some of it if I tried, but I'm not.
I can see what she means. Are you alright?
I'm fine. Don't worry about. I shrug.
Yeah, I'm fine. Let me get,
The names of the different drinks that I like all swirl around in my head, but somehow picking one feels like an impossible challenge. I wasn't actually planning on staying or getting something to drink, I just started to order out of habit.
whatever you recommend.
Frowning, Aspen taps something on the machine. I reach my wallet, but she waves a hand to stop me.
It's on me. Go sit down and I'll bring you something soon. Thanks.
Leaving her to that, I trudge to the booth and sit down, resting my head on my arms and closing my eyes. I just come inside and left again as soon as Aspen saw me. And I know that I wouldn't feel any better anywhere else. I could choose to go. At least this way I get a free drink out of it. I don't open my eyes again until I hear the sound of Aspen setting a drink in front of me, or taking a seat herself.
Thanks. Again.
Sitting up, I have a taste of whatever it is Aspen brought me. It's scalding hot and bitter.
What's in this? Coffee! What else?
Just coffee.
Espresso? You look like you need it.
Gingerly, I take another sip, bracing myself for the heat this time.
One of your recipes? No, I don't know who invented it, but it's been my go-to for years when I need a pick-me-up. Don't you feel more awake now?
The aftertaste lingers in my mouth, but I drink some more anyway.
Unfortunately. Then it's doing its job. You really do look a mess, though. Were you crying?
As soon as Aspen takes a second to look at my face, I see her take in the same look, concerned as Juliet. I raise my cup to my lips again just to hide myself.
Yeah?
There's an awful scraping sound as Aspen slides her chair a little closer to mine. Taking one of my hands in hers, I pull away immediately.
Sorry, I should have asked first. What's wrong? Did I do something?
Face starts to redden, and I already know what's coming next.
It's fine.
I don't know how to respond, so instead I opt for a question that's been lingering on my mind.
Do you know who Cosette is? Cosette? No, I don't believe I know the name. Is she a friend of yours? No. Don't worry about it.
If Aspen doesn't know, I'm not going to be the one to tell her. Still, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest that Juliet never mentioned her before, even though the two of them are supposedly close friends. As for my human, though, might as well get it out here, out there. At least then we'll be on the same page.
I found out my person is dead.
Although I've been sitting there with that thought for hours now, it's the first time I've ever said the words out loud. To my own surprise, they come out as steady as everything else. At least I don't feel like I'm going to cry.
Oh,
Finally, I glance at Aspen herself. It's like Juliet. I see her eyes widen and mouth drop. She tries to think of something more to say.
And you knew, didn't you?
Her hands toy uselessly with an abandoned straw wrapper on the table.
I suspected as much, yes.
I sigh, not surprised at all. I don't even have the energy to be that upset. Compared to when I was dealing with Juliet.
I'm sorry,
It's okay. Juliet already said it.
Well, I'm saying it too. I'm sorry. It seems you probably didn't find out in the best way. Not that there is a best way. That was why we were afraid to tell you. We didn't know how... Actually, I'm just going to stop talking.
Really? It's fine.
I cut her off flatly before she could start over-apologizing. Being apologized to makes me uncomfortable. Like an itch I can't scratch. Putting my chin in my hands, I look out the window. Sunny day outside. It's nice as it's ever been.
I just wish you would have told me.
In our reflection, I see Aspen nod.
If it makes you feel any better, we were going to, soon. We'd already decided, but not on how. I assume Juliet told you.
More or less, yeah. She said something that made me figure it out.
I see.
Both of them just adopted my being upset so easily. Neither of them tried to argue or anything. Just apologized. I'm not sure how I feel about that, just... like I'm not sure if Aspen's words make me feel better or not. Don't do that, headphones. Headphones, don't randomly switch to different earbuds. What the fuck? As you can still hear the game, it's important. I just need to hear the game myself. I need to turn my headphones off and then back on. Because they're not registering as existing in the system. That's great. Meanwhile, I wait for my headphones to freaking register and connect. They're not registering as headphones. The fuck's... oh, there they are. Just stay here, we're good. But also, I have to ask what I'm getting out of doing this to myself, and to her, and to Juliet. Sitting here, silently, stewing on emotions that would felt like burning rage last night now feels less explosive. I do wish we'd been more honest with me. But they were both just trying to be nice. It's not like I haven't done the things they were afraid of before. Like run away. When that's the case, is it really okay to still be upset with them? Sorting through complicated emotions is difficult. I like when things are straightforward. I know be sad or mad or something else. Right now, seeing how sad it's always made Juliet and now Aspen, it doesn't make me feel better either. Nothing else, I should at least tell them how I feel, or try to. Closing my eyes for a beat, I make my first real decision since leaving for Cosette's grave. Was leaving for Cosette's grave with Juliet yesterday.
Are you busy tonight? I want to talk with you and Juliet. Together.
She startles at the sound of my voice. I guess she didn't expect me to say anything else.
I'll be there. Just tell me when.
I don't know yet. I have to ask Juliet, but I'll have her let you know.
Okay, that works for me.
I stand up slowly. Announcement does the same. I can tell from the way she's still fidgeting and nervous, though, that something is bothering her. It's a tiny pop as she snaps. A paper straw wrap her in half.
Can you tell me one thing, though? Are you leaving?
She's really worried about that, isn't she? I feel a bit more confident about one thing as I shake my head.
No. I won't go anywhere.
After getting back to the library, I made the same request to Juliet about being able to talk together. Not only did she agree, she suggested that we go somewhere else. Just for change of pace. We shared a quiet taxi ride up to the Botanic Garden, not far from Cosette's grave. Neither of us tried to talk, which suited me fine. The whole ride trying to think about what I... Hi, Hosky. Thank you. This is a sad moment, kind of. How are you doing? You enjoying watching River City Girls 2? And Kaizen being a bitch, as usual? Which suited me fine. I spent the whole ride trying to think about what I want to say. I imagine Juliet did the same thing. Well, welcome to Sapphic Sunday. This is a very gay visual novel. I already played through one route a few months ago. We're now doing a different route. And yeah, welcome. Enjoy your stay. Don't feel obligated to you know. You can just lurk if you feel like it, as usual. Just do whatever. Hope you're having a good Sunday. I'm having a good Sunday so far. I didn't oversleep. Didn't yeah, I'm happy. Hope you're doing well. I have tits, as you just saw. You just chucked a thing at my fucking face. A bit rude. But I'll allow it. The taxi driver drops us off as close to the entrance as possible, tipping his hat in thanks as Juliet pays him before driving away, leaving the two of us mostly alone. There are a few people around, but more of them are leaving than entering at this time of the evening. Oh, you overslept? Aw, damn. Sad. One of those people, a figure sitting on a bench, reading, stands up and approaches us. When they step into the light, it turns out to be Aspen.
It's certainly a new feeling to be the one waiting, instead of waited for.
Hi, Aspen.
Hi, Aspen.
Good evening, Aspen. I hope we didn't keep you waiting for long.
No, not at all. Besides, I can hardly complain when it gives me an opportunity to catch up on some reading.
That's good, that's good. Love to hear it, love to hear it.
I thought about exploring the gardens a little, but I wasn't sure I'd be able to find my way back out.
There are worse places to be lost, at least. Thank you for indulging my request to come here in the first place.
It was a good idea. Not to say the library's gotten boring, but...
We never really go anywhere else?
I feel better now that I did this morning, at least enough to make a couple jokes. A lot of things still weigh heavily on my mind, though. But I'm determined to not just be an emotional rock, that wouldn't help anyone.
Precisely. I've never been here before either, so I'm eager to see the gardens.
It's been a while since I've been here myself, but I believe I remember a nice spot I used to visit with.
Instead of finishing her sentence, Juliet simply begins walking. Her cane makes a steady click sound as it taps against the stone path. Aspen reads off some of the signs that we pass by, signs which I, of course, have never given a second glance at.
Stonebridge Gully. That sounds rather poetic. Perhaps I'll use it in a story sometime. Ah, Pine Hill Path too. Whoever named these gardens was having fun, weren't they?
Yeah, it still seems preoccupied, not ignoring us, but not seeming to pay much attention either. She does wait while Aspen pauses to read one of the big signs that talks about the gardens. She writes a little bit in her notebook, then scurries back to us.
Sorry, one of the photos there caught my eye and I wanted to take some notes for further research. I hadn't realised there was more to this park than just this one garden.
Really? Like what?
There's an old estate for one thing. Also another garden just for native plants. There's even a cemetery not far away that's apparently part of it.
The steady rhythm of Juliet's cane misses a beat, but she keeps walking. After a short, uphill stroll, we reach our destination. A small brick path cuts off the main road, leading to an overlook, covered by a glass roof. There are a handful of benches around, but all of them are unoccupied.
Would this do?
Oh, Juliet, it's breathtaking.
I have to agree. Aspen walks slowly to the edge of the overlook, pressing a hand against the glass as she looks out over the view. I stand beside her and do the same. We're higher up than I thought. With a good view of the rest of the botanic garden, from here I even spot the main gate. Far across, the same rolling green hills that I noticed a couple of days ago tower over us. Though she smiles, Juliet doesn't join us, instead sitting down on one of the benches.
What do you think, Miho? How does it compare to some of the sights you've seen?
It's pretty nice. I like the view from up on Mount Victoria better, though.
Oh, it's been quite a while since I went up there. Perhaps I should see it myself sometime and compare.
You should. You can see the library from the top. I used to go up there to clear my head, before I started living at the library.
I'll be sure to invite you along, then.
She lingers for just a moment more, gazing out at the darkening sky, before taking a seat on the bench across from Juliet. Only I stay standing, pacing back and forth. Despite the pleasant chatter just a moment ago, now that we're all here and settled, both Aspen and Juliet sit quietly, but expectantly, waiting for me to speak first. Since I was the one who asked them to come here, it follows to me to start the conversation. But where do I even begin? I've been thinking about that all day, and I have decided that maybe I should just start at the beginning. The very beginning.
I never told you anything about my person, right? About Changin.
Both shake their heads. Taking a deep breath and clear my throat, I close my eyes and cast my mind back to the forest all those years ago.
I was just a regular fox back then. I don't know how old I was. Foxes don't think like that. All we know about is eating snacks and lying in the sun. That was all I really did, all day long. No hobbies or jobs or responsibilities. Just existing. I knew what humans were in the same way I knew what leopards and bears were. Big and scary and something to avoid. It was rare to see one in the forest. but it happened. Most of the time, they were noisy enough that you could hear them coming from far away and hide. That was the first thing that was different about my person, Chongin. I was taking a nap in one of my favorite spots, an old log that had fallen over. Chongin came all the way over and sat down before they woke me up. And when they did, I panicked. I ran and hid as fast as I could. I think they were surprised too. They didn't try to catch me or stop me. Instead, they kept their distance and tossed me a little bit of the meat they were eating. I didn't trust them and didn't know why they were sharing, but it smelled pretty good. So I grabbed the food and ran away, and eventually they left. When I went back to my log the next day, Chongin showed up again too. I ran away again, but they still didn't chase me and let me come back on my own. We did the same thing the next day, and the next day, and the next. Then, one day, I was in a new part of the forest. I liked wandering around even as a fox. I wasn't paying attention to where I was going, when suddenly, it felt like my leg was on fire. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I'd walked right into a trap that a hunter left. I couldn't move as much as I tried, and it's still the scariest thing that ever happened to me. I was sure I was gonna die. Finally, Chongin showed up. At first, I thought they were there to finish me off. Instead, they were worried for me. They knelt down and got my foot out of the trap, and then wrapped it with a part of their shirt to stop it from bleeding. That was when I finally figured out they weren't going to hurt me. I kept going to the grove to see them, and they kept being there. I let them get close enough to touch me after that. Still, they didn't do it much. It was only one day I went, and they were waiting like always, but they brought a lot more food than usual. And they gave it all to me, hardly eating anything themselves. After I was finished, we sat together for a while. They sat on my log, and I laid in the grass nearby. Finally, they got up like usual and set two things on the ground. One was a bag of food, the same as they had just given me. The other was a little paper scroll. They patted me on the head for the first and only time. Then, they left our grove. At the time, I didn't think that day was anything special, other than the extra snacks. But it was the last time I'd ever see them. When I came back the next day, they weren't there. I waited, just in case they were late, but they never showed up. The scroll they left and some of the food were still there. Other animals had taken a lot of the food, but they didn't want the paper. I took the scroll with me when I left. I didn't know what it was, but it was theirs, so it had to be important. My only option was to carry it in my mouth. I went back again the next day, expecting them to show up, but they never did. I don't know how many more days it took before I realized they weren't coming back. Once I did, it was all I could think about. I kept looking for them, but I couldn't find them, as much as I wanted to. I didn't even know why I wanted to see them so badly. Just that I did. While I was thinking about that, I started to choke. Something came out of nowhere and was stuck in my throat. Finally, I coughed it up. A bead. I'd never seen it before, and definitely never swallowed it. I left it and went back to my den, but it was waiting for me there too. No matter where I went, it was always waiting. So finally, I touched it with my nose. Everything after that happened so fast. 1 second I was there, just a normal fox. The next, I was in this new form. Not sure how or why. Some things came to me naturally, like using my new body and walking on 2 feet, and even how to turn back into a fox. But I still thought like an animal and acted like one. I didn't know any words that I could even think with. I had to learn those, and all kinds of other human behaviors the hard way, after getting chased away from villages and strangers that I met. Over time, I learned how to hide and blend in, and steal, and just how to survive. I followed Jungin's scent all the way to the ocean. I'd never seen so much water, not even close. I had no idea how huge it was. I boarded a ship like Jungin had, not knowing that it would take me somewhere different than the one they took. And I've been looking for them ever since.
I opened my eyes again. They're heavy with tears. But this time, I don't try to hide them. I didn't mean to talk for so long. But once I started remembering, everything else just came naturally. Turning to face Aspen and Juliet, I see that they're crying too.
Oh, Miho. They sound like they were a wonderful person.
I can see why you never stopped searching for them. They were truly special, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they really were.
Remembering how their hand felt on my head, and the softness of their touch, they inspected my leg. Those thoughts hurt as much as the hunter's trap did. But also, they make me smile too. I've often worried that they might have forgotten me. I don't think they did. They only knew me as a fox, but before I had any magic. So their memories should have stayed intact. Those days weren't long, but they were special. To me, and I hope to Jonghyun too. And so I don't want to let them become painful memories. I want to smile when I think about them.
Anyway, I'm sorry for getting so mad at you yesterday, Juliet. And for how I acted this morning with you, Aspen. I know that you both just wanted to keep me from getting hurt. But that's another thing, too. It feels like you're always looking after me, or taking care of me. There are lots of things I'm still learning, but I'm not weak. I've taken care of myself for a long time, you know. So, I don't want it to be like that anymore. I want you to be honest with me from now on, both of you. Even if it's something that would make me sad or angry. I promise that I won't run away without saying anything. I won't just disappear no matter what happens. Because if we're really friends, then we should trust each other, right? That's one of the things I've learned.
Having said everything I wanted to, I finally sit down, taking a spot between the two of them, just like at breakfast every morning. For a second, the three of us sit there quietly, and Juliet begins to speak.
I hear what you say, Miho. And I agree. You're not the only one still learning things, you know? I have a long way to go too. For years, I felt it for the best to remain open, but guarded. If I maintained a comfortable distance, even from those I call my dearest friends, then I would be protecting myself. By never getting to know anyone too well, by withholding any meaningful details of my life, I thought to avoid the pain of loss again. But all I've done is keep myself from experiencing that joy of companionship again, while even causing hurt to others. I'm not too experienced when it comes to being honest to myself. Or perhaps only honest to a point. But you're right, Miho. That isn't how it should be. From here on out, I'll endeavor to be more open, more real, with both of you. For myself, and for you.
Yeah, it looks in our direction, both in particular, but in particular in Aspen's right now.
As such, Aspen, there's something that I'd like to tell you.
He begins telling Aspen about Cosette in much the same way she told me yesterday. I sit quietly and think about what she said. Hearing Juliet describe herself reminds me of me. In the end, we've both always been running away, haven't we? Despite how perfect and put together Juliet's always seemed, she's actually been struggling just as much. She was just better hiding it than me. As Juliet recounts the vow she made in honor of Cosette, I see Aspen is listening with rapt attention, like when she gets really absorbed in one of her books. When Juliet finishes her story, both of them have to wipe their eyes. Aspen rummaging around in her bag and pulling out a small packet of tissues, offering one to Juliet before noisily blowing her nose and wiping her eyes.
God, that's certainly a lot to take in.
Welcome back, Possum. Welcome back.
Thank you for telling me, though. Cosette sounds like she was a wonderful person, just like Johnine. I wish I could have met her.
All the sad parts that I think I've seen are done, I think. All that's left for sad parts is the sad parting of Aspen's memories. Later.
I wish you could have as well. She would have had endless stories to recount, and I know she would have loved to share them.
As for all the other stuff,
Yeah.
first of all, I promise, to both of you, I want us to be truly friends as well.
Posture check, okay. Stretch. Ah, my face! I thought I just a whole ass for a cup of water. Rude.
I don't have anything quite so dramatic in my past, but I certainly know how it feels to be performative. I can hardly fault you for curating your self-image when I do the same thing. It's kind of funny, actually, and a little scary to hear you talk about Cosette and Zhongyin. Because, as someone who will one day be past tense, I often wonder about how I'll be remembered when I'm gone. Not that I expect that to be any time soon, but still, I hope that someone speaks of me just as fondly someday. There will be more than enough time for me to worry about that in the future, though. Right now, I'm glad we had this conversation. It was worth the near panic attack I had earlier, wondering what would be said tonight.
Me too. I still have a lot to think about, and I'm still sad. But I don't want to be sad forever. I know it's not what they would have wanted for me either. But I do know that I'm lucky I met you two, and that you're my friends. I wanted to say like that.
My cheeks burned from saying something like that out loud for the first time ever. But I like saying it. If it's true. Although I've already made up my mind to stay, sitting here in the middle of the garden that I know I made the right decision. For all the doubts I had, all the struggles, I'm thankful that it happened, and I finally admit that to myself. Maybe it wouldn't turn out the way I expected. But for once, I'm content for myself, my life right now. Really? Just as friends?
Well said. And don't worry, Miho. We're not going anywhere.
Even if it's not always perfect, it doesn't need to be. Just like Juliet.
Oh, Miho, I'm glad too. The first time you stepped into the Bell House was one of the luckiest days of my life.
5 hours. Be different. Bye-bye. 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 All I have to do is keep trying like Aspen. Maybe another first time would be appropriate. Hopping up from the bench, I grab Aspen's hand and Juliet's hand and pull them to their feet too. Then spreading my arms as wide as I can, I pull them both into a hug. Without hesitation, I feel them embrace me in return. From the first day at the cafe all the way to now. It's chilly out here in the garden, in the cool evening air. But it's warm in Aspen and Juliet's arms. And I smile to myself, and to them, and to anyone who may be watching.
Mine too.
Having a bit more time walking around the garden last night, Juliet and I went back to the library, and Aspen took a bus back to her apartment. Once we get back, I fell asleep almost immediately, my brain finally getting some relief from all that commotion of the last 2 days. In the morning, once I get downstairs, breakfast is pleasantly familiar. Toast, eggs, and fruit, like always, and convenient, and conversation about books and work in Wellington. After cleaning up, but before Aspen departs, Juliet clears her throat.
By the way, Aspen, I do believe this weekend is a special occasion. Am I correct?
I had been trying to ignore that until now, but yes.
Oh no, it's almost time.
Wait, what? What happens this weekend?
This Friday is my birthday. A brutal reminder that, like we just discussed, time won't wait for me.
Yeah.
Whoa! Humans have parties for that, right? Are you gonna have a party?
Party? Where? Party? Party? Huh? Huh? Party? Party?
No, I'm
Huh?
not
Party?
turning 12.
You're adorable. You're adorable. Party? Huh? Party? Party? Where? Party? Where? Huh? 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 Huh?
How old are you
Eh?
turning?
Not 12?
So... 13?
I thought parties were a thing you got to do your whole life.
No, sadly not. I know, it's sad. Bad. We don't get all parties all the time.
That's
It's sad.
not fair that only 12-year-olds get to have them.
It's not like that. They're just one of those things that you grow out of.
Why?
Why?
Why what?
Why do you grow out of them?
Yeah. Brown to get some more creases, like she's trying to explain this as much as to herself as to me.
It's just part of being an adult. You get older and older and you reach the real world and then you don't feel like having a party, I suppose.
That's sad. Depressing.
When you're young, it's exciting getting older because there's so much you can't do as a child.
But?
Once you're an adult, you realize that what you thought adult life would be like isn't real. So instead of being excited that there's cake and ice cream, you start worrying about how many calories are in each.
What's a
Growing up.
calorie?
What's a calorie? Well, that's a good question. I haven't a damn
Never
clue.
mind.
We love you.
You know, Miho has a point.
I do?
She does?
I do!
I do!
I do?
You're never too old to have fun, as you both went out of your way to remind me.
Yeah.
25 can be just as much a reason to celebrate as 5.
I suppose you're right. For the record, I'm only turning 24. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Still, I'm not the partying type. Plus, I told my parents I'd go visit them this weekend. Just for a day, mind. I'll be back well before 24 hours have passed.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm sure they'll be overjoyed to see you.
Yeah, I always really remember that some other time though. Even for that thumbnail.
I'm
but,
sure
like,
they will be,
Not now.
at least for a little while. I still wouldn't want to stay for more than a weekend, even without Miho to keep in mind.
Yeah, I'm not frowning. I'm happy.
Longer than that, and my mum and I would probably go crazy.
There we go. That's enough.
I'm not leaving Welly until late Saturday evening, though. Would you mind going with me to the bus stop on that day, Miho? Just to be extra safe.
Yeah, of course.
No other reason. Just be extra safe. Just be extra safe.
Even
Aspen. Yep.
without a party?
Yes.
Would you let us treat you to dinner on Friday evening?
That would be nice, thank you. No gifts, though. It won't be a party.
That's easy, because they wouldn't know what to get you anyway.
That too, but still. Final
Where do
party.
you want to go?
I'm not sure yet, but I'll let you two know. Maybe you can come over on Friday evening, and we'll go from there.
Come over? Where?
To my apartment? I do have my own place to live, you know.
Really?
And, well, it isn't anything special, but I felt I should at least let you two see it. Only if you want to.
Of course I want to!
I mean it, it's the definition of average. I'm not even sure if it can fit 3 people.
Saving, because I like saving. It's great. Saving is awesome. I love saving. Non-stop saving.
I lived in a dirt hole for most of my life. I can handle anything.
Good point. You'll feel right at home then.
I'd love to come visit as well. Thank you for the invitation.
Great. I'll clean up and make sure the cats are on their best behavior. It's been quite a while since we've had company.
I can't wait!
The 3 of us chit-chat for a little bit longer until it's time for us all to split up for the day.
Miho, do you have any plans for the day?
Working.
Not yet. Why?
I was planning to go see a movie soon. Would you like to come with me? You're more than welcome too, of course, Juliet, but I imagine it's rather late for you.
Unfortunately so.
Mm,
I'll be up a
yes.
while longer, but I wouldn't be able to make it through an entire movie. I hope that you enjoy it, though.
I understand. It's fine if you don't want to come along, but the showing starts in an hour, so we'd need to leave soon. I prefer to get there before it's crowded.
Hmm.
No movie this time. Did I watch a movie last time? I think I did. Zoom looks at fucking looks at my screen hella close. Did I watch a movie? Did I watch a movie? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking remember. I'm going to find out. That's what I was gonna do.
I'm not really.
It's fine. Maybe another time.
Sure, I'll go.
Are you ready to go?
Confusion. I am confused. Oh hell. Read only. This implies I read both sides, but that's not true. I did not read both sides. I'm confused as to all hell. I'll see if this sounds familiar.
What's a horror movie?
Yep, this is. I've did this before. What's a horror movie? I did this already. What is horror? What is horror? What is a romance comedy?
I'm not really in the mood for a movie today, I think.
So it's fine. Maybe another time.
Yeah, definitely.
Aspen gathers her things and departs while Juliet remains in the kitchen with me.
So, you're not gonna go to sleep yet? It's the time you usually do, right?
It is, yes. As I said, I won't be up too much longer, but I have a few tasks that I'd like to finish up.
Like what? Anything I can help with?
Looking around the library, I don't see anything that really needs to be done.
I'm afraid not, although I appreciate it. It's for my research services. You're welcome to keep me company, though, if you'd like.
Sure. I forget you do that sometimes.
I tend to work on it at night, after you've gone to sleep. Come, let's head to my study.
I follow her up the stairs and into the office. She sits down at the desk and opens her laptop, while also moving a stack of books and papers closer to her. I walk around the room a little, examining the shelves. There aren't any bats in the corner today.
I never noticed how many books there are in here.
Although the library shelves downstairs are full, it seems like there must be just as many books in here. Maybe even more. Some shelves even have more than one row of them, with stacks built in front of stacks.
Ah, yes. Some of them are old and fragile and not suited to be handled by so many people. Others travel between the shelves down there and up here as I need them. Some aren't books per se, but essays or diaries or treaties.
Oh. Picking a book at random, I carefully remove it from the shelf and examine it. I'm able to read the sole word on the cover, journal. Then I open it up, it's full of handwritten pages. I return it to its place.
And you've read all of these?
Heavens no. I don't think even I've been alive long enough for that. I've read some, of course. Others I've only skimmed through as needed. Still, others were entrusted to me for safekeeping, rather than for their academic or entertainment value.
I take a seat in the chair across from her.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It can be. There have been fewer requests as of late, but I'm honored to be entrusted with them. Whether it's a family photo album or a handwritten novel, many people have memories and legacies that they'd like to preserve, but may not have the means to do so. So I hold on to them here, and over time, generations even, they are sometimes remembered and asked about, or even taken back, either by the person who first brought them, or by a family member seeking to learn more about an ancestor. There are hundreds of years of history in this room, and I'm not just talking about you and me.
It takes me a second to laugh. I'm not used to Juliet making jokes.
So, What exactly is it you do?
Come here. I'll show you.
She gestures for me to join her beside the desk. Turning her computer screen on, turning her computer screen so I can see it. Is a photo of a fabled person with antlers, like a deer's.
This gentleman passed away several decades ago. Recently, I was contacted by one of his grandchildren, who was still young when it happened. He said that his grandfather once made it into one of the Wellington newspapers, and was hoping I could find the article.
Did you?
See for yourself.
He gestures to a folded newspaper lying on a stack of papers nearby. It's so old that it's begun turning yellow, and the edges are all frayed. But sure enough, there's a grainy black and white photo of the fabled man, although he's way younger in this photo.
He had taken first prize in a singing competition at a local fair, and his picture was featured along with a summary of the event.
Oh, nice. I look a bit closer. It's hard to tell, but there's a smile. You're smiling in the photo next to a trophy.
Whoa. I can't believe you're able to find this.
I hear that rather frequently, and it's rewarding every time.
Save again. I love saving.
In this case, I've already scanned the article and sent it to the grandson, so now I just need to return this paper to its proper place.
I walk back around the other side of the desk and sit down again.
This one was on the simpler side, because all I had to do was peruse newspapers from that time. More complex requests that require consulting multiple sources can take me much longer.
Jeez, I had no idea. They must pay you a lot, right?
No.
No. I don't ask for any payment. The work itself is a reward in its own right. I find it fascinating to revisit so many different pasts.
That sounds like Aspen talking about books. Visiting other worlds.
Yes, it's quite similar. Although Aspen much prefers fiction and novels to this sort of thing.
Maybe someday you can have a copy of her book in here too.
Yee.
Yes, I hope so. Although it would deserve to be downstairs where it can be freely enjoyed by all.
That'd be nice. I hope lots of people read it when it comes out.
Juliet smiles in agreement and begins to open up books and lay out documents. I get up and browse around some more, examining the shelves. Said I could keep her company, but watching the way she's reading and so intently, going from source to source, I know I would just be distracting her if I try. I bet I try to quietly slip to the door, but Juliet notices me.
Oh, are you leaving? I'm sorry, I haven't been a very good host.
It's fine. I can tell you're really busy. Thanks for showing me everything, though.
Of course. Thank you for joining me.
Anytime. You're gonna go to bed after this, right? So, I'll see you later then.
That's right. Have a great day, Miho.
You too. Good night and good luck with your work.
Waving goodbye, I step out into the hallway alone. Where do we want to spend our time today? Let's go to Cuba Street. A baker on this street is giving away free samples today, so of course I'm sneaking by in as many times as possible, and filling my pockets with goodies. I just really need to sample it and make sure I like it. Once my pockets are practically stuffed with little puffs of bread, slide off into an alleyway, nibble my spoils in peace. Uh-oh. I hadn't realized these were cream-filled and squishable, and now my pockets are a mess. Well, I popped the one still in my hand into my mouth. At least, luckily, it's really good. Washing my jacket out in the river is probably gonna be a little less good. Ooh, a second location. Well, we need to wash. We need to wash our jacket. Let's go to the waterfront. Let's go wash our jacket to the waterfront. The view from the waterfront is really just the best on a clear day. I take a long, refreshing sit and enjoy the seemingly endless expanse of water. It's just nice to just enjoy the sight of nature without any expectations. But my patience is rewarded with the sight of a dolphin passing by. They're far away, just the smallest glimpse of dorsal fins moving in the group, but they're unmistakably dolphins. I whip my head around and it doesn't seem like anyone else near me has noticed. I guess nobody else is really staring out into the horizon either. What a nice surprise. Aspen's home. I really love this image of Miho. So pretty. Look at her. She's so pretty. We love her. That's a gush. We love her. We love her. Look at her go. Anyways. Aspen's home again. I'm home. I'm home, alternate timeline Aspen. Later in the evening, Aspen sends a message to Juliet to let her know that she's ready for us to come over. And the two of us walk down to the address she gives us. Juliet leads the way, of course, since I don't know many of the street by names. We eventually arrive at an unremarkable looking apartment building. Just a few stories tall and without many decorations out front.
This is the place. I believe she's on the ground floor.
What's happening now? Fine? Are we dying? We good? Okay, we're good. I, again, need to fucking dehydrate because I hate my existence. You're back. I'm back. Sorry. I realized it was hella late. So I had to go make some food real quick. Just throw things in the microwave. And yeah. Yeah, just walk into the home and just like, well, hi Hosky, welcome. I see you're still lurking. Hope you're enjoying your lurk. Hope you're enjoying me reading a visual novel and destroy my voice. And also running out of water every single time. Because life is great. It's great. Not too far away, one of the doors swings open and Aspen pokes her head out and waves at us.
Miho, Juliet, over here.
Oh, just you, Possum. Only you ran out. Ossie can still redeem it if she wants to. Only you, Possum, though. Only you ran out of hydrates. But yeah, we just walk in. We just walk into the apartment and just go like.
Hey, you.
Hello, love.
Aspen goes. Yeah, we just walk in with.
Hey, you.
Aspen goes.
Hello, love. What are you smiling about all of a sudden?
You.
I wonder why you ran out. I wonder. I have the faintest idea why you could have ran out. Yes. I have it saved. I have it saved on my computer. For, reasons. Smiley.
Aspen!
Hello, love. She holds the door open with one hand while pushing something away with her feet.
No! Stay back, you two.
I freeze halfway to where she is.
What's wrong?
I said, no, not you, Miho. I'm talking to the cats.
Hands. Aspen gestures us to come inside while keeping an eye on the floor. Juliet and I hurry in, and Aspen shuts the door behind us.
Well, ta-da! Or something.
Ta-da!
Whoa!
The position on the VC face. Make sure everything's all good. The entire place is just one room, except for a small math room. Right across from the door is a tiny kitchen area and with a fridge, stove, and microwave. Everything else is basically a bedroom. There's a dresser, a small desk with a computer, and Aspen's bed itself. Some luggage and boxes are scattered around, which I'm guessing are part of Aspen's cleanup.
I hope that was the good kind of woe.
It's lovely, Aspen. I adore the fairy lights and plants. They make it feel very welcoming. Thank you for having
I'm not
us.
angry, game. I'm happy. Funny. I adore the fairy lights and plants. Make it feel very welcoming. Why do you think I'm angry all the time? I'm not angry. I should probably calibrate. That would do it. I should calibrate the expressions. There we go. Much better.
Yeah, thanks. It was a good whoa, don't worry.
I didn't really have an expectation, but I'm still kind of surprised by how small it is. I figured she'd been exaggerating that part at least. A little bit. The decorations make it feel fitting for Aspen, though. A second. I need to type this real quick. There we go. Cupids of green eyes peek at us from around the corner, and both and both cats go dashing under the bed as we step further in.
Sorry there's not more space to sit down. You can see why I don't have company over very often. You can sit on the bed if you'd like. Or the computer chair.
Oh, it's fine. I'm okay on the floor.
Yeah, the floor is pog. I take a seat with my back against the dresser, while Juliet sits down on the bed, as invited. I can't read. Aspen ends up taking the sole chair for herself. That's what, almost as soon as I sit down, I spring back up, remembering the occasion.
Oh yeah! Happy birthday!
Yes. Happy birthday, Aspen. Here's to another wonderful year.
I am not sitting on the floor, because that would be highly impossible to play anything on the floor with a laptop and 3 screens.
Thank you. This year has been pretty good, I must say.
Oh, my headphone fell out. Yes. Narrowing my eyes, I inspect Aspen, who notices and frowns at me.
Can I help you?
You don't look any older. You don't look any older.
It's not recommended, obviously, because, like, how? Especially with 3 screens, one of which, like, 2 other screens, like 2 TV screens, one for a Switch, one for a laptop as well, and be like, very difficult. It's possible, though, but, like, highly difficult to do.
I'm glad to hear that. It doesn't just happen overnight on your birthday, though. Not that you would be aware of that, I suppose. Anyway, enough about that. Are you too hungry? We've already done everything there is to do here, I believe.
We haven't pet your cats yet. We pet the cats. Give the cat pats. Pet the cats. For chops.
Now you understand why I never have people over.
But the cats, Aspen, the cats. The cats.
It's fine. I don't mind just sitting around. But yeah, I'm always ready to eat.
A hungry girl. We love hungry people.
Have you decided
love
where
person
you
with an
want to go?
appetite.
I think so. There's a seafood restaurant that isn't too far away that I enjoy, but don't go to very often. Does that work for both of you?
I'm okay with anything. I just like food.
Mood! Big mood. I just like food as well. I also just like food.
Indeed. It's your birthday, so we'll have whatever you want.
All right. Let's get going then.
Woo! Seafood! The restaurant is a bit of a walk from Aspen's apartment, but it's a nice day, so I don't mind. We end up at a pier, not too far from the museum I visited. It's not a really big place, but it's better than the Bell House. Half of it just out over the ocean itself. It's bigger, not better. Nothing's better than the Bell House. The Bell House is the best place in the world. Nothing is better than the Bell House, besides the home of your lover. We get seated right away at a long table with metal spoons. With metal stools. Not spoons. I mean, also metal spoons, but like, that's not the main feature of the table.
It sure smells fishy.
Yes, it would smell fishy, Miho, thank you.
It's supposed to. That means it's fresh.
Our waiter brings 3 menus, setting one in front of each of us. He promises to come back to take our order soon. Aspen and Juliet both pick up their menus and start to flip through, and I do the same.
Let me know if you need help reading anything, Miho.
Thanks.
Fortunately, there are plenty of pictures. Vash could learn a thing or two from here. I'm even able to read some of the words like fish and corn. But there are other words I don't recognize at all.
What do you usually get here, Aspen?
Well, they're most well known for their crab, although it's very messy. And expensive, so I've never had it. I usually get the clam chowder or fish and chips if I want to hate myself later.
Oh.
What are
What's
those?
chowder?
It's like a thick soup.
Oh.
Mmm. Thick soup.
Isn't it hard to eat clams? I've tried before, but I couldn't get past the shells.
They do that for you. No shells involved.
Whoa! That's nice of them.
No shells? Hog. No shells for us.
I'm sure they'd be glad to hear that. Is there something you usually order when you go out to eat?
I've never been to a restaurant before.
I just steal from
it. Bell House. Well, not as a paying customer, at least. But I know how they work because I've seen them on TV.
I hope you enjoy your first time then.
I now need to go be right back to do something again. I love this. I come back just to go be right back again. Life is amazing, is it not? Where's the save menu? Here it is. We'll be back in a minute. Lol. We just got back. Great. I'm back. Again, for the 5th time. It's great. I need to calibrate the expressions again because every time I walk away, I need to recalibrate everything. Great. Hi, Papaya! I'm back. It's great.
Both of you, feel free to order whatever you'd like. Don't worry about the price.
Don't worry, I wasn't.
I forgot about that. I wasn't worrying about the price. Lol. A nearby door springs open, and for a second I can see into the kitchen as another waiter comes out, carrying a big bucket. Another of spiny claws and legs poking out of it.
Wait. Is that...
They take the bucket to another table and set it down along with a big pile of napkins.
The crab? Yes.
I watch intently, curious to see how these people are going to get past the shells.
You shouldn't stare, you know.
I ignore her. I have to know! I recalibrate their impressions again because I messed them up. I got back. There we go. Much better. They grab some utensils that I've never seen before and use those to crack the shells. I watch fascinated while they do. Going back to Aspen and Juliet, I made up my mind.
I want that!
Clams were too hard, but I used to love eating crab. It's been a long time since I've had it.
It would be nice to try at least once.
Sounds like it's settled then.
Crab. Our waiter shows back up with a few glasses of water in hand. And Juliet orders for us all. The waiter takes the menu back, saying our food should be out before too long. I sip my water and look around, enjoying the new experience.
Have you ever been here before, Juliet?
I haven't. As I'm sure you know, I don't go out to eat very often. I've been to similar restaurants before, though.
You went to the Bell House back when it first opened, didn't you? I seem to recall you telling me that once.
I did, yes. I can still remember what I had. A chai latte with a blueberry scone.
Ooh, tasty.
Were you working there yet?
No, I was not.
Oh no, it was a few years before I came to Welly. Although, Regina, my boss, wants to expand. There's going to be a second location opening in a couple months. She asked me if I would consider being store manager.
Oh, congratulations! That's quite the honor.
You'd get to run the whole place?
I would still be working for her, but otherwise, yes. I haven't decided if I want to do it or not, though.
Sounds fun.
It would be a lot more work and responsibility, obviously. It would take up much more of my time, too. I'm not sure if I want to put myself through that.
That's understandable. I do think you'd be well suited for it, though.
Yeah, you already do a lot at the other Bell House.
Thanks. Yes, it is tempting. I told her I'll think about it and give her an answer by the end of next month. The building it'll be in is already a coffee shop, so it won't take too long to convert.
That's always good to hear.
It all depends on some other things, really.
Like what?
Well, for one, I'd been thinking about keeping this a secret until I hear back, but I finally finished a draft of my manuscript.
Oh yeah. Your manuscript.
I sent it off to a few publishers to see what they think.
That's a storyline. I just realized we're not gonna be there to talk her through it. And help her, are we? I spent that much time with Aspen in this route. No! Poor Aspen's gonna work herself to death! No!
Oh, congratulations, Aspen. That's a stunning achievement.
Yeah! What are you gonna do with all your free time now?
Thank you. That's a good question. I'm sure I'll spend plenty of it worrying. Other than that, I will need to find some new ways to fill my day. If all goes well, then I won't have time to help out at the new store. I'm getting rather ahead of myself, though. It's only been a little over a week since I submitted it.
Oh. I hope it works out for you.
Me too.
We sit and talk about the usual stuff for maybe 15 or 20 minutes before our waiter comes out of the kitchen carrying a giant bucket like the one we saw earlier. Aspen and I both gasp in awe as they place it on the table before us with a flourish, bringing us a stack of napkins and tools like the other group.
Well, let's not just stare. Dig in!
I don't even know where to start.
I grab one of the pieces closest to me. It's hot! So hot I drop it on my lap. On my plate. On my lap, your plate. We're good. After the same thing with a yelp of pain. Juliet, on the other hand, seems totally unbothered as she calmly claims a portion for herself. Bruh. Leading in close, I blow on my food and try to cool it down while I do. I watch Juliet to observe how she does it. Smiles when she notices me watching and turns her hand to give me a better view as she uses the tool to crack the shell and get to the meat. Aspen seems to know what to do too, since once it's cool enough for her to handle, now I just need to give it a try. I try to mimic what I saw Juliet do, and after a moment of squeezing really hard, it finally works.
That was a lot easier than trying to use my own claws.
I should hope so.
I pile it into my fork and take a big bite, finally getting to enjoy my prize. I feel my eyes go wide with how good it is.
Enjoying it?
Yeah.
I quickly noticed the piece I was eating, and then rushed to grab another one. It's a lot easier to crack now that I know how to do it. So cute, you talk with your mouth full. We love we love Aspen and Miho. We love the girls. We love them. They're so cute and pretty. For a while, the only sounds coming from our table are those of us enjoying our food and the occasional sip of water. When our waiter comes by to give us refills, they look a little shocked at how much we were already gone through. When the bucket is finally empty and I sadly toss the shell of my last piece into the waste bag, Juliet seems to pick up on it.
Are you still hungry, Miho?
Maybe. Maybe?
Hungry? No. Do I want to eat more? Yes. That was delicious.
Yeah, glass. Juliet glances at Aspen, who shrugs.
I could eat more.
The next time the waiter passes by, Juliet flags them down with a smile.
Could we get a second order of this, please?
I feel like it may as well be my birthday instead of Aspen's. Look, crab. Crab. Austin, you make me scared. By the time we get through the second bucket, even I can't eat anymore. I went to the restaurant in a bit of a daze.
I don't know if I've ever been this full in my life.
That's a good thing though, right? That's a good thing.
Me too. I think I'm set on crab for a long time now. Thanks for dinner though, Juliet. It was wonderful.
Of course. It was my pleasure. I hope you've had a nice birthday.
I certainly have. Now, if I can make it back home, I'll call it a success. I feel like I've put on several kilos just from that meal.
Would you like me to call you a taxi?
No, it's fine. Walking some of this off will be good for me. I still have to pack and get ready for tomorrow.
I suppose Miho and I will head home as well then. Does that sound okay, Miho?
Yeah, let's just walk slow.
Yeah, let's walk slowly, not quickly. Unless we puke. Still, I manage a weak wave.
Bye, Aspen. Happy birthday again.
Thank you again. Good night to you both. I'll see you two tomorrow.
Bye, Aspen! Aspen trudges off, but Juliet somehow seems unfazed.
Shall we be off?
Taking a deep breath, I steel myself for the long walk home.
Yeah, let's go.
A second. The afternoon of Aspen's departure, she's unusually quiet. Although she shows up to breakfast like normal, she barely says a word throughout the whole meal, other than things like, "Yes please," or "Thanks." From the way she keeps checking her phone and messing with her face and clothes, I can tell something must be on her mind. I figure she's just antsy about her trip, so I don't bring it up or try to talk to her. Instead, Juliet and I mostly chat until we're done eating and dishes are cleaned up. And when we're finished, Aspen perks up a little bit.
Miho, are you ready to go to the bus station?
Oh, okay. It's time. It's sadly time. It's sadly time!
Yeah! This way, you have as much time as possible to get back.
Precisely. Thank you.
Of course!
Before departing, Juliet approaches Aspen and gives her a hug. From the outside, I realize that hug looks kind of weird. People come up with the strangest way to show that they care about each other. You know, hugs do feel kind of weird if you think about it. You're just like looking from the outside, just like, oh yes, let us press our bodies together and wrap our arms together. This is how I show that I care about you. Yes. Let us press our bodies together in a very platonic way.
Safe travels, Aspen. Let us know when you get there.
Will do. I won't have reception while traveling, but I'll send a message as soon as I'm home.
Yes, hugs can be very platonic. You just press your bodies together vertically. You wrap your arms together around each other. Very normal.
How long's your trip?
If it was by car, only a couple hours. It'll be closer to 4 by bus, though. I'll take an early one on the way back tomorrow, just to be safe.
Ample reading time, it sounds like.
Yes, operating time. What are you even talking about, Possum?
Oh, yes.
What are you on about? She rubs her fingers on a book tucked into her bag.
Patricia and I have a lot of catching up to do.
I really want that, but sadly we didn't reach that goal, so it's not a priority for student A-Law right now. I know. I wanted us to get there too. But not this time. It's not prioritized. I know. I'm sad as well. Although she's still fidgeting, it seems like Aspen's remembered how to speak. After spending an unusual long amount of time adjusting... Why do my headphones just disconnect? What? What the fuck happened there? After we're back, that was weird. After spending an unusual long amount of time adjusting her skirt and hair, she finally faces me brightly.
Well, shall we be off, Miho?
Yep.
Yep.
Goodbye, Aspen. Good night, Miho.
Night, Juliet.
Bye!
Later!
Aspen holds the front door open for me as we exit the library.
Where exactly is the bus station?
Not too far from my apartment. We'll pass it by on the way there.
Should we stop by and say hi to the cats? I'm sure they'd love to see me.
They're going to be angry enough at me for leaving for a day. I'm not sure I want to traumatize them right before I go.
Damn.
Dang it. I've never gotten along with cats.
Have you known many?
No.
Only a few. Some of the strays have some really good stories to tell.
Hog. The two of us walk along in silence for a little bit before Aspen pokes me on the shoulder. I've gotten more used to physical contact like that, but it's still surprising me sometimes. It's still surprising me sometimes.
What's it like talking to an animal, anyway? How do you do it?
I'm not sure. It was just something that I knew how to do, like making a den. A lot of the time, you can just feel what they mean without saying it. I don't know how to put it.
No, that makes sense. There are some things that you just can't put into words, as much as you'd like to.
You don't say, Aspen. You don't say. Really? Really?
Exactly! I
Hmm?
have the problem a lot. I'll bet you don't, though.
Sure.
You'd lose that bet quite handily. Why, I'd say I struggle to put things into words more than anything.
Really? How? I thought you loved writing.
That's different.
I do, usually, but it's not that simple. Sometimes you just can't use any old words. You have to use the right ones. And often that
get
means
you, Aspen, I
going
get
through
you.
lots and lots of the wrong ones until you find them.
I think it's easier the way animals do it.
Yeah, I feel like it is. We're just like,
It
project
certainly
our
sounds
feelings.
like it. I often wonder if I could talk to Percy and Byron, what they would have to say. Maybe they just complain about me not feeding them enough or something.
Probably. Cats are like that. Cats are bitches. I say as if I have a cat. I don't. I want one. But cats
Do
are
you want me to ask
big
them?
LSE. Big little shits. Big little shits.
It's tempting, but no thanks. As long as I don't know for a fact that they're saying rude things, I can convince myself that they're not. Rather like that other cat in the box.
Sure they are?
Cats like being in boxes, so they probably wouldn't be complaining.
Yee.
Not quite what I meant, but I'll take it.
For a bit, Aspen hums quietly to herself while we walk. I don't know if she knows that I can hear her. Though, even though she's been more chatty, there's still something that seems a little off about Aspen. I can't quite place my finger on what it is, though. At one point, she checks her phone just to walk up a little bit quicker.
Are you looking forward to going home?
If she had to think about it, that kind of answers the question.
I am, yes. But like I said, I prefer to only do so for a day or two at a time.
'Cause of your parents?
A little. They're not really that bad, though. Mum's a worrywart and Dad isn't, so Mum feels like she needs to worry enough for both of them. It's
I
not too
see.
bad over the phone, but when I'm there, Mum always tries to convince me to stay and move back. So I tell them they should move out here instead, and Mum goes into why they can't, and it's just tiresome.
Sounds like she cares about you a lot.
She does. And I love her too, don't get me wrong. It's more the town than them. Or rather, the lack thereof.
What do you mean?
They live in the middle of nowhere.
I see.
Mum loves it out in the countryside and says she can't live without her backyard view and half a kilometre from the nearest neighbours. I, on the other hand, can't live without bookstores and coffee shops and high-speed internet.
So that's why you moved to Wellington?
That's why I moved to Wellington. It seemed like a necessity to make it as an author.
I try to put together the things she's been telling me into one big picture.
Can you only find the right words here?
Exactly. At least, that's what I thought before I came. Turns out that moving to a new city won't magically make you a better writer. Or even a writer at all.
Yeah, that's a sad
When I was
reality.
in school, I used to daydream about what life in the big city must be like. Busy and important things happening during the day, and then nights full of excitement and sparkling wonder. Instead, it's the Bell House, and a tiny apartment the size of my living room back home. I thought if I put myself in this new environment, then I'd grow into the type of person who belonged there. I learned the hard way that places don't change who we are. Still, better to be struggling to make it in the city than doing nothing out in the boonies, I tell myself.
I think it sounds pretty nice. Peace and quiet, nothing to have to worry about.
Ugh, not you too. That's exactly what my mum says.
We're talking to a
Trust
former
me,
fox,
it
to
sounds
be fair.
better hearing about it than living it.
What did you
Just
expect?
like Wellington. Or any city, I'd imagine. I'm sure even Wellington must seem like a bore compared to some of the places you've been to, like Shanghai or Seoul.
Probably.
Well, yeah. I still like it though. Those cities are too big for me. They're noisy and loud and smell bad, and anything can be dangerous. You have to be on your guard all the time. It's not like that here. The scariest thing I've seen was a movie.
What movie?
That's true. I'm glad. I'm glad you liked it enough to stay.
Me too.
Me 3. Me ho. Here we are. We're well into the city, pretty far past Cuba Street and the Bell House. Now that I've been there once, I also recognize the Papa, the museum, when we pass it. By now, there isn't much I don't recognize. I've been all over this place of Wellington, though enough that I could probably get from here to Mount Victoria with my eyes closed. I memorize other cities the same way when I'm living there, but for the most part, once I left, I forgot all about them. I'm not sure to ever forget and be able to forget the streets of Wellington, even if I wanted to. Instead of humming, Aspen starts fidgeting again as we walk, messing with her phone, and purse, and hat, and glasses. I recognize the shops and apartment buildings in the walk to Aspen's home, so we can't be very far from the station.
Are you nervous?
Me?
Yes, you!
No. No. Why would I be?
I don't know. Why would you be?
Do I seem nervous?
Kind of.
Yeah. Is it because of the bus? You don't have to worry about that. I've ridden on them lots of times and they only broke down like once.
Yeah.
No, it's not that.
Oh.
I mean, no, I'm not nervous.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, whatever you say. Whatever you say. I've never seen Aspen more nervous, but I still don't push it. Ugh. I hear and smell the bus station before I see it. And then it comes into view. There are 2 or 3 buses parked or passing through. I wonder if one of them is Aspen's. We stop across the street, and she checks her phone again, then puts it away.
You're not late, are you? Oh, I could have walked faster.
No, we're right on time. It'll be here any minute now.
It's Aspen time.
Cool. I'll wait with you till it arrives.
Cool. Start to cross the road, but stop when I notice Aspen isn't following. Instead, she's still standing on the sidewalk, gripping the strap of her bag tightly.
Aspen?
I trot back to her, looking around to see if she's missing something. But there's nothing, other than a couple people waiting far away at the station.
Are you alright?
She blinks a couple times and then takes a deep breath before facing me.
Miho, I have to tell you something.
The effect of her words is immediate. Thud. Thud. As she casts a spell, my heart starts to race. Whatever she's going to say must be why she was acting so weird all afternoon. Is it something bad? Is she not going to come back after all?
Yeah?
I really managed to croak out an answer. I can't handle more heartbreak so soon.
It's something that I've been thinking about telling you for a long time. But it was one of those things where I wasn't sure how. Or when. Because I didn't know how you'd take it.
What could it even be? We just saw Juliet, so it can't be anything to do with her. Lena?
But then, after we all talked the other night, I realized that I should just say it anyway. Because no matter what, I know I would regret it more later if I didn't. Who knows how many more chances I might get? So I thought about it. A lot. What the right words were. And I just couldn't figure it out. So I didn't prepare. I'm just saying this, somehow. and hoping. God, I'm actually saying this, aren't I?
Grip on her hat shifts, clutching it so tightly her knuckles are turning white. I feel frozen in place, not sure what to do or say. All I can do is stare. My heart is feeling like it's going to explode out of my chest. While she looks down at the ground. Whispering something to herself, she wrings her hat in her hands before finally looking back at me.
There's something I want you to know. Miho, I used to think that there was no way someone like you could exist. Someone who looks at the world like you do, and is honest about what you see, the good and the bad. And at the same time, someone who doesn't realize just how much she has to offer. Just how much you make people happy. But here you are. Maybe meeting you used up all my luck for the rest of my life. But here you are. And I love you. And I just couldn't keep not telling you that. In case maybe you love me too. I couldn't keep just hoping and wondering and not knowing. And now that I've said it, it feels so good to have out there. I love you, Miho. I love you. At first, I wasn't sure because everything seemed too perfect and unreal. I thought that I was just letting myself get carried away like I always do. A silly little daydream, but it's true. It makes me feel silly how much already, when I think of how utterly stupid it always sounded to me when reading about love at first sight. But how could it be anything else? I don't believe in coincidence, Miho. My life was changed the moment I saw you. I just didn't know it yet. Now I do. Now we both do. I love you, Miho. It's out there, and I can't take it back.
Her words drift away into the air as we look at each other in silence. My head is TV static, buzzing with nothing to show. Not because it's empty, but because there's too much for me to process. Aspen? In love? With me? Wind whips past my face. Bus rolls by. Pulling into the station, I barely notice it. Barely able to notice anything. Aspen is in love with me. I don't know what to say. But Aspen raises a finger to her lips.
Shh. Don't tell me. I said it now before I leave for a reason. Because I thought you might say that. Tomorrow. Whatever it is you feel, I'll hear it then.
Look at her face for some guide on how to respond, but she just gives a smile, a weak, fragile smile. Left dumbfounded, I nod. Aspen is in love with me. Returning her hat to her head, Aspen sighs like she just finished a hard day's work.
Well, that's it. All I have to say, I suppose. As if that wasn't one of the most important things I've ever said in my life.
The voice acting is fucking amazing in this game. We love the voice actors. They're great at their job.
That's my bus. So, I'll see you tomorrow, Miho. And no matter what, it's okay. If we just carry on being friends like normal, I'm fine with that. More than fine. I'm just glad that I took the chance to tell you.
Oh, Aspen, no! How nervous she was a few minutes ago. She does seem a lot calmer now. I may as well just be a statue as Aspen starts to walk past me. But then she pauses.
May I give you a goodbye hug?
Not much I can respond to, at least.
Yeah.
We wrap our arms around each other. That weird human custom. Everything may have just changed, but she's still the same Aspen she was when we first left the library. I try to listen for what she might be saying without words as she squeezes me tight. Finally, she steps away with a smile. It might be the most genuine one I've ever seen her on her face.
Bye, Miho.
Bye.
I made my way back to the library like a zombie, my feet moving without really thinking about it. Aspen's words keep replaying over and over in my head. I get them, but I can't make sense of them. There's not a sound to be heard from the empty aisles when I enter. Juliet, having finished tidying up in the hour or so that's passed since I left, after a quick glance around, I head towards the stairs. When I head up to the second floor, I spot a sliver of light from underneath Juliet's bedroom door. I knock and it opens just a moment later. Juliet greets me with a calm smile at first, but the corners of her mouth falter as she looks at my face. I don't quite know what expression I'm making right now. I don't know what I'm even feeling to begin with.
Miho? Did something happen?
Aspen said she's in love with me.
Oh, I see.
Juliet's not the type to be shocked easily. That's why I want to see her for advice. But she's even less surprised than I thought she would be.
Give me just a moment, and I'll meet you in my study.
Finally, she said it. Yeah. I nod and head over there, opening my door. As I walk into the darkness, I'm met by several pairs of eyes.
What?
Just as startled as I am, several bats begin to flap their wings and noisily take flight, chittering overhead before most of them leave out the open window. The biggest one watches me for a bit longer before departing as well. By the time Juliet enters the study and turns the lamp, it's just me and her.
Sorry I scared off all your bats.
It's fine. Don't worry. I'll be back before too long.
We sit her down into the same set of seats as last time, with Juliet behind her desk and me across from it.
So, Aspen.
Yeah. Aspen.
Yeah, Aspen. I wonder what Aspen's thinking right now. Is her head as much of a mess as mine? Probably, knowing her.
We had just gotten to the bus station when she stopped and said it. She said she waited until just before she left, so she didn't have to hear my feelings until tomorrow, when she gets home.
Yeah. When she gets home.
And what are your feelings?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Thought about love. Or someone being in love with me. I don't even really know what it means. I know the word, but how does it feel? How would I know? The other day, you talked about how much you loved Cosette, and how you didn't know much about love before then. This is a different love from that, right?
She thinks to herself for a while, carefully considering her answer. I'm glad she does. At least one of us can stand back and think over this properly.
Yes and no. Of course, the bond between a parent and their child is different than that of two partners, but it comes from the same part of the heart. The part that you give away to somebody else. Love is when you care about another person so much that the feeling becomes bigger than you. When your life is more full and joyful for the presence of that person in it. I could throw out any number of cliches, but they'd be meaningless. What love means and how it feels are different for every person. To speak from my own experiences, love is like a flower. It starts as something tiny, but as it's nurtured and cared for, it grows. It reaches toward the sunlight and towards something better and blooms into something beautiful. Not all flowers grow at the same rate, and not all flowers look the same. But wouldn't you agree that that's the joy of flowers, Miho?
I look up from the floor towards Juliet, who's watching me warmly.
I like flowers, but I've never grown one before.
The same can be said for everyone at some point. But as long as you're willing to give it the time and patience that it deserves, even the tiniest seed can become something wonderful.
Juliet must see the confusion on my face, because she touches my hand gently.
You should take some time to yourself, Miho. We can talk about it later tonight, if you're ready. If you needed even more time, I'm sure Aspen would understand.
Yeah. I need to think about it. And sorry for waking you up. Or keeping you up. Whichever.
It's no trouble at all. I'm glad that you felt comfortable coming to me about this.
It was the first thing I did. Thanks, by the way. You helped me out a lot.
Of course. It's my pleasure. It's what friends are for.
Juliet returns to bed, and I go back to my room as well. I sit down on the floor, which is where I've done a lot of my best thinking lately. I lean against my bed and turn on the TV. There sure are a lot of shows and movies about love, aren't there? It's difficult to imagine that concept applying to me. I do know that I care about Aspen a lot. I like being around her. I like talking to her. I look forward to seeing her when she's not there. We're friends. But could we be more than that? I spent a few hours stewing in my thoughts and not coming to any conclusions. Love feels like something that couldn't and shouldn't apply to me. And yet here I am. Hours pass as I consider the issue from every different angle. I end up with more questions than answers. Is it something I want? Is it something I could ever do? What I choose to say to Aspen doesn't just affect me, but it affects her too. No matter what, both of our lives are about to change. And no matter what, I have to make a decision. I'm sure that I'll have some doubt either way, but I can't just ignore or run away from this. After turning it over and over in my mind, I finally make a choice. Slowly, I stand up and downstairs. My legs feel like jelly as they carry me towards another huge moment. My hands shake, but I hold on tightly to the banister as I head down to the kitchen, where Juliet's making tea. There's a second mug on the table. full of steaming hot chocolate.
Right on time, like always. I was just about to call for you.
I heard you get up a little while ago. I was still doing some thinking, though.
As you should, as you do.
I see, I see. So I take it that means you've made up your mind about Aspen, then?
Yeah. It wasn't easy, but I have.
Matters of the heart are rarely easy. Shall we sit?
Yeah.
We take our usual spots. The third one, conspicuously empty, I take a big gulp of my hot chocolate, while Juliet takes a small sip of tea. Wiping my mouth with the back of my hand, I lean back in my chair, take a deep breath, and nod.
I've decided.
You decided. It is time. Again. Even though I already have another one, the exact same area. But still, it's time again. I don't think I could do this.
I don't think I can do it. I like Aspen, and I don't want to hurt her. But she's a human, and I just don't think I can do that to myself.
The words are heavy and hard to say, but it's a relief to say them. We're on uncharted territories now. I have never seen anything of this content besides one single area on Rat's stream about something about the gates of hell. That's all I know. I've seen like one area like looks like a gate, but that's it. Juliet reaches her hand across the table and places it over mine.
I understand. I'm sure Aspen will too.
I also know that Aspen forgets us because Rat said that at some point during a stream. And I was there when she said it.
You don't think she'll be mad at me, do you? Or upset? She said she wouldn't, but...
Oh, heavens, no. I'm sure she'll be sad. It would be wrong of me to
I
tell
know.
you otherwise.
That's why I was dreading the, this part. Because she forgets.
But I also know that she wouldn't want it to affect the relationship you do have. I'm sure she's prepared herself for this possibility and made her peace with it. The only way I can see her regretting her actions is if they somehow sullied your friendship.
No, no way! At least, I hope not. I don't like her any less. I just can't like her more than I already do. Not...
I know what you mean. The heart wants what it wants. To try and go against our own feelings is folly. We only end up creating pain for ourselves and others. That's why Aspen chose to share her feelings with you, even knowing they may not be returned. And why it's important to be honest with yourself, even about the things that may be difficult. As you've reminded me, time and again.
I feel Juliet's hands slide off of mine as she stands and walks to the window, opening the blinds. Outside, it's that in-between time of evening. The sun has already set, but the sky hasn't become totally dark yet. Though Juliet has no reflection, I can see myself in the window watching her. I wonder if she notices too. My hands tingle when she covers it, just a moment ago.
Have you ever been in love before?
Trying to face me, she has an expression I can't read before placing it with a fond smile.
There were several times that I thought I was, but later realized otherwise. All of them were before Cassette was born, when I was much more wild.
Yeah, wild. Oh, what are you talking about, Juliet? How wild are we talking about, huh? Hmm? What kind of wild?
I mistook the desires of the body and mind for the desires of the heart.
Oh, I was correct. I was making a joke, but apparently I was correct.
What I
Maybe.
had thought was love was really just an attempt to fill something missing, to fool myself into believing it was real. Raising Cassette forced me to be honest with myself for the first time in ages. Perhaps ever. I had never truly cared about anyone other than myself. I just didn't know it until then. For her entire life, I devoted my heart to Cassette, ensuring she had all the genuine love and support that she needed and deserved. Even when she grew up and moved out of our home together, not a day or even an hour went by that she wasn't in my thoughts. Since she passed away, I haven't allowed myself to grow close to anyone else. I couldn't ever again settle for a relationship that I didn't feel with my whole heart.
You know, that's fair. Those are some wise words from Juliet. That's some good advice. You know? Ugh. I'm just dreading the Aspen scene. Her eyes meet mine, lingering for a moment before Juliet turns her attention back to her teacup, taking a sip. She closes her eyes and sighs with contentment.
I've made do with smaller pleasures. Hot tea, a good book, the company of friends. It's been enough, ever since then.
I know what you mean. I've only had smaller pleasures too.
Much like Juliet, it never occurred to me to want more. A warm place to sleep and a meal that I didn't scavenge were more than luxurious. For a long time, I just saw the connection go red for a second. For a long time, I've been satisfied with what little I had, and I couldn't hope for anything else. So I thought. Did it freeze? Nope, which is fine. It's just really behind on my phone. I fish around my cup of hot chocolate, which isn't quite so hot anymore. I don't know how Juliet makes it, but I know it doesn't just come from mixing some water with powder. Rude. It's something she makes special every time, just because she knows I like it. Has anyone else ever done something like that for me? Not that I can remember.
Not looking forward to telling Aspen tomorrow.
I know. I'm sure it can't be easy.
Like always, she handles my abrupt topic change without comment.
All I can suggest is to speak from your heart, just like she did. Though it may take her a while, in time, I know that she'll be okay. The best thing you could do is to treat her normally, as if nothing has changed between the two of you.
Right. She's still Aspen.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you're still friends. Nothing can take that away.
I nod, feeling a little better. Juliet and I chat a bit more before eventually I excuse myself and head up to my room for the night. Before I go to bed, I already know it's going to be one of those nights where I toss and turn for hours before being able to pass out. No matter what, not looking forward to letting Aspen down tomorrow. All I can do is hope that she understands. Like Juliet said, even if it's nothing, even if it's not what she wants to hear, I'll make sure to not let it change anything between us. Neither of us would want that. Sure enough, it takes a while, but eventually my restlessness turns to exhaustion, and I slip into a fretful sleep. Morning comes out too soon. Hello, Juliet Rout. Broccoli opening my eyes, I check the time and see that I've slept in about as late as I can. I spend a while trying to fall back asleep, but fail and eventually get up. There are only a couple hours until Aspen will be back. I'm sure she'll go back to her apartment first after she arrives, but she'll have to come up to the library not long after, so we can see each other before the day's passed. Once she's here, I don't see a way to put off talking about that. It'll be better for both of us to just get it over with, I'm sure.
Alright, Miho. You can do this.
Staring into the bathroom mirror, I try to believe myself. I know that what Juliet said is all true, but our friendship not having to change or there being any bad feelings, I'm just not looking forward to telling Aspen in the first place. It won't be the first time I've hurt Aspen somehow. It's the first time where I've planned it out in advance and known that it's gonna happen. Still, I know that fixating on it and dreading it will just make me feel worse. After moping about for a bit longer, I head down to the kitchen. Let me check something. I have no idea. Wait, I can check. Use math. Where's my math skills go? Oh, math is not fucking helping, are they? Because I sped run this for this computer. Shit, never mind. Thanks, me, for being a bitch. For being very helpful. Thanks, me. Very helpful.
Good morning, Miho.
Morning!
At least Juliet seems to be in a good mood. I try to make myself sound chipper too. Even though it's just the two of us today, Juliet worked so hard. Worked as hard as always on breakfast. There's the usual assortment of fruits, eggs, and toast all laid on the table.
Thanks for the food!
Of course. Do dig in.
Don't mind if I do.
I eat my meal with as much gusto as I can, although I'm much slower than usual. Juliet went through all the effort to prepare everything, so I don't want to just let it go to waste. Eventually I have to admit defeat and sit down my fork with a lot of food unfinished.
Everything okay?
Yeah, it's all great. I'm just not super hungry right now.
Oh, yes. Understandable. I'm sorry. I should have asked before preparing so much.
Nah, it's fine. Thanks for cooking. I'm sorry I can't eat more of it.
Don't worry. As long as you enjoyed it, I certainly can't complain.
I sure did. It doesn't look like you're all that hungry either, though.
Me? What makes you say that?
We can't hear the fan on my laptop. laptop's burning right now. I put the half-eaten bread on the plate.
You had even less than I did.
I'm checking, everything is blinking right now on my screen. That's great. Everything's fine, we're not dying, we're good, we're good. Juliet looks down, as if surprised to see what's there.
Well, I suppose you're right. To tell you the truth, most food tastes the same to me, essentially flavorless. I enjoy the ceremony of sharing a meal with friends much more than the meal itself.
You can't taste anything? Why not?
That's sad.
It's another one of the downsides of vampirism. I can still eat and drink if I want to, but I don't need to.
Even tea?
Even tea, to an extent. Although I can't enjoy the flavor, I do still enjoy its aroma. And that was one of my favorite parts about tea, even as a human.
Well, that's good that didn't change when you got vampired.
Whoa. You're really good at cooking for not being able to try it.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Cosette was often my taste tester. Once I found a way of preparing something she enjoyed, it was simply a matter of committing the recipe to memory.
Well, every time I fix my ponytail, I get the hair on my face. I just look fucking angry on VC's face. It's great.
She definitely had good taste then. I can't imagine not being able to enjoy food. It used to be one of the only things I enjoyed.
It is quite unfortunate. Had I known what it would be like before I turned, I would have made more of an effort to sample cuisine from around the world while I could.
Were there other things that were different for you then?
Oh, yes. Almost everything. Those faculties that I do retain, such as my eyesight and hearing, are far keener than they were as a human. To say nothing of the ability to transform. I suppose it must be like that for you as well, compared to your days as a fox.
Yeah, that's true. But I can always turn back into a fox when I want to.
You are quite fortunate in that regard. Taking wing as a bat can be exhilarating, but it's not... familiar.
Do you like being a vampire? Would you go back to being a human if you could?
That's a difficult question to answer. Even if I were to somehow revert to normal humanity right now, I wouldn't be the same person I was before I became a vampire.
That's fair. Makes sense. You lived quite a
That
long
was
life.
a lifetime ago. Several, in fact. Who I am now isn't even who I was when I first changed. I appreciate the many chances that I've had to learn and grow. Without the gift of immortality, that wouldn't have happened. Nor would I have met any of the people whom I care about most. You, Cosette, Aspen. I'd have died centuries too early for our paths to ever cross. Naturally, I wouldn't trade that for the world, for anything. But I confess that I do miss the simplicity of human life. The very things that Aspen fears most are some of what I most regret leaving behind. A temporary existence pushes you to achieve all that you can within the time given to you. Your triumphs and victories are sweeter, just as tragedy may be deeper, with their impermanent finality. I suppose I would have to say that it's equal parts blessing and curse. Presented with the choice to somehow go back and stop myself from being turned, I would decline. There are truths that can only be learned with experience and age. So, in that sense, Perhaps it would be futile, even if it were possible.
With a sigh, she gives me a sheepish smile.
That was rather long-winded of me, wasn't it? To answer your question more directly, no, I wouldn't go back. There's a part of me that will always want to, though.
That's understandable.
I get it. Sounds like there are even more differences between Fable like us and humans than I thought.
In some ways, yes.
Nodding, I idly push around some of the leftover food on my plate with a fork. It went cold a long time ago.
Thanks for saying all that. It makes me feel better about, you know, like I'm making the right decision.
It's my pleasure. I'm glad that I could be of some help.
I wish I could delay having the conversation with Aspen, but there's only a couple more hours until I would have to see her anyway. At least, long enough for her to not forget me. She took a late bus there and an early bus back just for that, meaning her visit with her family hardly lasted any time at all. I feel a twinge of guilt, because Aspen basically has to plan her life around seeing me, even though there's nothing I can do about that. Rising to my feet, I gather up both my dishes and Juliet's and take them to the sink. Dump the leftovers in the trash on my way.
Thank you, Miho.
No problem. Are you going to bed?
Indeed. Unless you'd prefer for me to wait with you.
I wouldn't mind, but it's okay. You don't have to stay up for my sake. I'm probably just going to watch TV or something until she gets here.
Yeah, not wait on the phone or at the bus station.
All right, if you're sure.
Yeah.
As always, you're welcome to wake me should the need arise.
If you're actually asleep next time. You were already awake when I knocked yesterday.
True. Although that was something of an anomaly. Still, whether I'm awake or not, don't hesitate if you need anything.
Will do. Night!
Have a good day, Miho. I'll see you this evening.
It's time. It's sadly Aspen forgetting time. I finish cleaning up as Juliet heads to her room. After wiping my hands dry, I flick off the lights and go to my bedroom. TV cracks the light when I switch it on, and I take my usual spot on the floor, with a blanket against the bed. Flipping from channel to channel, I look for a cartoon or something that I can watch without having to think too hard about it. Preferably something without a romantic subplot, as hard as that is to find. It's not that I mind those most of the time, but right now, I'm not in the mood. I ended up settling for an animated movie about a girl who can turn into a seal, and her brother's quest to rescue her. What's that a reference to? I wonder. As I'd hoped, watching shows does take my mind off things. It always makes time pass by way too fast. At some point, when I check the clock, I see it's almost time for Aspen's bus to arrive. Who? Who's? Who is visual novel? I don't believe I know what that is. Cello? She has her own visual novel? I didn't know that's who Chella was. I didn't know that was who Chella was. I thought it was a nice kid. I didn't really look into random, like, I didn't realize it was a Heart of the Woods reference. Maybe because I didn't play Heart of the Woods at the time, but still. I don't know much about, a lot of things, actually. I'm kind of dumb. Lol. Stop being angry, VC face. I'm not fucking angry. Jesus Christmas. I am now, but still. I'm angry at VC face, but, you know. Just fixing my freaking ponytail. The stomach cramping feeling of anxiety starts to kick in. I take some deep breaths and drink a glass of water to stifle it.
It's no big deal, you dummy. You're just making this worse for yourself. She'll be sad, but she'll get over it.
Around the time that the bus should be pulling into the station, I go downstairs to wait. My practice book for reading and writing are tucked away at the front desk. I retrieve them and sit down. My eyes go over the same line dozens of times without really processing what I'm seeing. It's frustrating because it's not like my thoughts are occupied with something more important. Instead, it's like there's an alarm bell ringing in my head. An unhelpful reminder that I'm not looking forward to what's going to happen without contributing anything useful. I grit my teeth and try to power through it, forcing my hands and eyes to cooperate. I manage to slowly make my way through the worksheet in front of me, but not without glancing at the front door every couple minutes. When I finish, I'm not sure I actually got anything out of it. With every minute that ticks by, I get a little antsier. I wait. And wait. And wait. 45 minutes after her bus should have arrived, I get up and pour myself another glass of water. Just to do something.
She sure is taking her time.
I should probably be more patient. It's a long walk from her apartment to here. She probably wants to freshen up after the long ride. Sighing, I take my seat, spinning circles in the chair. A minute later, I head up again, pace around, browsing the books in the library, shelves as if I'm interested in them at all. I'm not. Before I know it, an hour has passed as I came downstairs since Aspen got back to Wellington. I head to the desk and pull out another writing worksheet. With a couple weeks of practice behind me by now, I can write almost all the letters from memory, just not legibly. It takes all my concentration, but when I get to the end of this one, I'm pretty proud of the results. Somehow it took me almost 15 minutes to go through both sides. That explains why my hand is so sore. But it doesn't explain why Aspen is not here.
Maybe I should go find her.
She'll probably be following the same path we took to get to the station yesterday. It goes right by her house after all. It's early enough that if I hurry, I could get to the station and back with time to spare. If she does take a different route and get to the library while I'm gone. Plus, I could write her a note. I grab one of the pads of sticky notes that Juliet keeps at the desk, gripping my pencil so tightly that it hurts. But I need to be as precise as I can, or else Aspen won't even be able to read it. Aspen, when's this station on and your house? Took route you showed me. We'll come back here. It's not the best, but it should work. I wish I was calm enough to be proud. Instead, I just grab a piece of tape and stick the note to the front door as I hurry out. Moving at a brisk pace, I scan both sides of every street as I go. I check every window and open door I can, make sure I don't miss her. I make it to Aspen's apartment and knock loudly, rocking on my heels while I wait. The door never opens. I try to peek in her window, but the blinds are shut and the curtains are drawn. Still, it doesn't look like there are any light inside. My worries start to morph into panic. It's possible Shorty came home and dropped off her bags to turn the lights off and left. But then, why didn't I pass her on the way? Just to be sure, I hurry the rest of the short trip to the station, but I don't see any trace of Aspen. Flat out running instead of jogging, I rush back the way I came, but instead of staying on that one route, I also try side streets, weaving back and forth between the main path and the others. None of them have her. And I reach the library, breathless and alone. My note's still where I left it. Push the door open, hoping against hope that she's waiting for me inside. She isn't. But Juliet is, standing behind the front desk.
Oh, Miho. I was wondering where you'd gone. I saw these sheets that you left out.
Aspen still isn't back yet!
I can't hold back from blurting out the bad news. There's no time to waste. Juliet's eyes instantly go wide with alarm, and her mouth drops open in shock for a brief second before she closes herself.
I see. Wait here. I'll try to call her.
While she rushes off, I push the door back open and scan the horizon, looking for a glint of Aspen's glasses in the sun. While she walks, nothing. She turns with a phone in her hand where it looks weirdly out of place. She calls Aspen and then puts it on speaker, and we both wait with bated breath.
Hello, you've reached Aspen. If you're a publishing agent or editor, then please...
She gets off the voicemail message just like I cut her off a moment ago.
I didn't even hear it ring.
It didn't. That means that for whatever reason, she can't receive calls right now.
Whatever reason? Like what?
Most likely, her phone is dead. Or she's somewhere without reception.
I see Juliet's face fall as we both make the same connection.
Yesterday, before we left here.
Yes. She mentioned that she wouldn't have it for most of the journey. But she should have been back in Wellington a long time ago, correct?
Yeah, at least 2 hours ago.
How much longer do you have left?
About an hour.
My voice cracks as I say it.
Just under.
My mouth is dry and I try to swallow the lump in my throat, but it won't go away. She even came home early to give us extra time. Time that was supposed to be just in case, not actually needed.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I was hoping you would know.
Me? I see. Let me think.
Because we here at the library, where she's bound to turn up eventually. I'm sure she's watching the clock as closely as I am. Wherever she is. On the other hand, I could go out and look for her again. I can move faster than she can, and if she's running late, then the time saved by going to where she is could make all the difference.
Okay. Here.
I look up at Juliet, hoping she has the solution.
Take my phone. Go try to find her. Make sure you can get back here in time. If she arrives before you find her, we'll call you.
Okay.
Juliet quickly shows me how to use the phone, and I pocket it, making sure that it won't fall out. plan just combined both of mine. It's a good compromise, but it still comes down to luck. I guess there's no way around that. Not every problem has a perfect solution. There's nothing else to say, and less time to say it. So I hurry back outside without another word. I've barely gotten my breath back from running all the way to the library, but I force myself to run again. I have to cover as much ground as possible, as fast as possible. I hit the Bell House, which is not there. When I get to her apartment, it's just as often. Same as the bus station. I turn around, about to start the trip back, when I spot someone waving at me nearby.
Hey, miss. You okay? I saw you run by here a while ago.
I'm looking for someone. A friend who should have been here by now.
On one of the buses? You sure they weren't on the one that broke down?
The what?
Yeah, heard some other folks who were here talking about it. Guess it broke down on the way back and the replacement's taking forever. They were getting pissed because it was gonna make them late. Couldn't tell you which bus it was, but you could probably find out. Where were they coming from?
I don't know the name of the town. It's a few hours away.
Well, that doesn't exactly narrow it down, but it matches up, I think. The guys who are waiting were packed for a long trip, so it must be one of those distance lines.
Thanks.
Oh no. I stumble as I turn back around, my legs shaking like jelly. There's no way it isn't Aston's bus. All the details line up so perfectly and terribly. My only hope is to wait here at the station and hope the replacement bus arrives in time. Mechanically, I dial Aspen's phone over and over, hanging up and redialing whenever her recorded voice starts to play. At some point, I stop trying. As the minutes tick down, I feel increasingly sick with the burning pressure of tears in my eyes. When I do finally hear her, the rumbling sound of an approaching vehicle, when I finally hear the rumbling sound of an approaching vehicle, I can barely believe it. Lifting my face from my hands, I watch with my heart in my throat as a bus turns the corner and pulls into the station. This has to be her bus. It has to be! Unable to move, I just watch as a line of passengers slowly disembark, and I stay glued to the door until the line finally stops. And the waiting people, including the people who talked to me, get to board. The bus takes off a minute later, without Aspen. I collapse back onto the bench, barely repressing a sob. Why? Why is this happening? For the final few minutes, I stare at the phone open on Aspen's info. Along with her phone number, there's a picture of her sitting at the kitchen table. It's a little out of focus, but she's smiling. I look at that picture rather than the time, as minutes become seconds and then seconds become nothing. A full 24 hours has passed, and Aspen never returned. Everything I was feeling melts into numbness. Seems like I should feel something. Chill, or ache, or some indication that it's over. I've been forgotten. Of course, there isn't one. I've been forgotten a million times before. It just never mattered. Even now, it doesn't feel real. Just a few hours ago, I was worrying over Aspen for entirely different reasons. I rise and slowly return to the library. I don't run. I don't look in the windows. I don't try calling. My sticky note is still on the front door where I left it. When I get back, I tug it down, stuffing it in my pocket, and I trudge inside. Juliet stands from the front desk as I walk in. Alone. I can see her face shift as she realizes. The door slams shut behind me. No one else stepping in.
Oh, Miho. I'm so sorry.
Here's your phone. Thanks for letting me borrow it.
I sit down on the desk and then stand there, not sure what to do next.
Perhaps... Perhaps it's not exactly 24 hours. Perhaps there's some leeway and she'll still get here in time.
Yeah, maybe. There was a bus that broke down, I guess. It must be hers. Someone at the station told me.
For once, Juliet seems to be at a total loss for words. She just nods and stifles stiffly at my explanation. I sit down on one of the chairs near Juliet, staring at the floor. The alarm bell in my head is mercifully silent. Faintly, it occurs to me that this must be what they call shock. We sit there until there's a noise outside the door, catching both my and Juliet's attention. Slowly, the library door opens and Aspen enters looking worn out. Her hair is frazzled and looks like she's been running or crying or both. She shuts the door gently behind her. You and I both stand up from the desk at the same time.
Aspen, you're back!
I can't bring myself to say anything. Only to stand there and wait, as the feelings of dread and anticipation return. I realize that I've held on to some hope after all.
Yes, I'm back. God, I know I'm late. It was ridiculous. Our bus broke down and the replacement didn't arrive for hours. We weren't even that far from Welly when it happened. Simply unbelievable.
Cass reaches out to adjust her hat and glasses and holds up her phone with a smile.
I saw all the missed calls from you once I got back to the station, but it was so late, I thought it would just be easier to come straight here instead. So, sorry to keep you both waiting, Juliet.
Walking past Juliet, Aspen comes to where I'm standing, her eyes glued to the floor. Her eyes glued to the floor. She stops in front of me and slowly looks up. She was definitely crying.
And you must be Miho.
And, that's the end of that chapter. I knew it was gonna happen, but, like, seeing it happen is so different. Experiencing it, being there. I have an idea of why she's like, and you must be Miho. I have an idea why she's like that. Oh. It hurts. It's painful. It's a 1600 by 900 hertz. And 90 hertz. Oh, the screen resolution. Pain. I'm in pain. Let's see, let me check something. Maybe. No one, damn. You did Juliet first? I did Aspen first, as you can tell by my sadness. Bruh. Bruh. This is so sad. Why? Why is life like this? I guess you're great. That's anyone I know who's streaming right now. Let's see. Probably not. No one ever streams at this time of day. Let's see. Anyone? Nope, no one at all. No, literally no one is streaming. What a time. Let's look for some person to raid. Let's see. Check this person real quick. I've got to have earbuds connected to my phone. I don't need a silence my mic. This person is speaking Spanish. Hmm. Hmm. Pain. What are we doing with our lives? Your recommendations. What do we got? Go and hit the raid button. Let's see. Go here. Where's the manager? Very useful. Very useful. Thank you. I appreciate the raid. The raid button does nothing. The raid channel button does nothing. Nothing useful at all. Just nothing useful. Anyone I just double checking Discord again. Anyone I know streaming? Probably not. Again, you know, I just said I did. I said I checked it a second ago. I didn't really look very hard. I didn't really actually look. Hmm. Hmm. That's not English. Damn. Still not English. I have no one. I can't find anyone. Ah, pain. The VTuber tag. I'll check the VTuber tag. It's no. I haven't checked that in ages. Where is it? I'm very blind. Do you have it? Nope. Do you have it? Yes. Hmm. Pain. Pain. Why is there no one? I first end. I can't find anyone. I'm too. Ah. Life is sad. Oh, I can't. Andy, I have to do gushes. I'm dumb. I almost forgot about the gushes. That was close. I'm too busy. Like, oh yes, I just end stream usually. I just raid someone and go and just leave. I got excited there and was dumb. Where is the VC face? Not on this layer. That would explain. I don't have VC face on this scene. Where is VC face on this one then? Copy. And where are you? More pasta. Alright, let's get that face off. Let's get that face off our face. Alright, we got 7 gushes. Position. Studio mode. Got 7 gushes to do. I'm gonna Eh. Whoop. Alright. 7 gushes. Let's do them. Say it. It's so sad. It's so sad. Alright, we got 1. It didn't pick me up move doing that. I need to reset the position of the camera. I love this. Great. Where's my hand? Mouse, move. Mouse cursor, there we go. Alright. We got 1, 2. Trust me, I'm doing things. It's just very laggy and slow. For some reason. 3. 4. 5. 6. And 7. Alright. With those done, I'm sad. We're sad, and hope to see you guys next time. Not sure when I'm probably doing more Fire Emblem Saturday. Ooh, 7 gushes, 7 gushes. I'll clear that off the board in a minute. 7 gushes. What a time. Only 7. Mainly sad. A lot of sads, though. I forgot how sad this chapter is. Many sads. Not many gushes, I'd say. Many sad moments, though. But I hope you enjoyed. I know on Saturday I'll do more Fire Emblem Engage. I'm not sure if I'm going to be streaming any time in between that. But also next week, again, more Sapphic Sunday, chapter 4 of Juliet Route. Be fun. Kind of cries, I don't know. It's kind of funny, but I don't know. That won't be a lot, because if just kind of individual, like one cry session for seeing, it'd be like, I don't know. We'll find out eventually. But thanks for tuning in, Possum. It's always appreciated. And hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.